Please welcome Kenton Therien.
Shut up, John. Big. Josh, not John. No, these guys are setting up. What? Okay. So, how's everybody doing? Good. Yeah. One thing, if you guys have been looking away from stage at all and finding me, you might notice that off stage I give off an incredibly awkward persona. And people always say is the best way to do that is just to act sexy. I'm like, yeah, that's sound advice to give to a really awkward person. Yeah. Oh, you like that? Yeah. It's really soft, it keeps me warm. So yeah, as I've been saying, I've been hanging out with a lot of these comedians that have come up before, and will come up after for about, I think 7 months now, I'm pretty sure. And it's pretty evident that after reading the poster, none of them can still spell my fucking name. Therien, no, it's Therien, it's not Therion. Oh wait. It's T-H-E-R-I-E-N, not O-S. Okay, just verifying. Anyways, what next? As you know, this is a benefit for the kids, for Washington Middle School after-school programs. If you're still unclear about that, then pick your description of things. And if any of you did not donate, if you don't like this show, then you really just hate kids and you should get out. You should give them a break. I recall, if I look at the events in my past, I can conclude very firmly that I indeed was also a child. And my mom reminds me every time I go back over the winter, she keeps pinning up the little elementary school artwork, the winter themed artwork that we made in 3rd through 6th grade. I got a couple with me right now that I'd like to share with you. I know we're on St. Patty's Day, but I didn't go back home. So here we go. This first one is a reindeer. If any of you were unclear as to what a reindeer looked like, it looks, well, like a moose. Very much like a cutout of my 8-year-old footprint. Oh my god, I just noticed I got some really misshapen fingers here. Yeah, it's awesome. This next masterpiece is an artistic rendition of a snowman that I built just the day before I did this. It was taller than my house. So tall, so big that it actually wanted to leave the frame of the picture. And I remember we had a chain link fence, but every winter it seemed to transmogrify into this gunmetal gray, ugly wood fence here. This little, and I don't know if you notice this tree, a lot of you, a lot of you in the back may not notice, but I remember specifically, this tree really did have these blood red pine cones. My teacher came by, she looked at it, and she said, "Oh, that's, And I showed it to my friends who were all looking at me as I made it and was like, "Oh, dude, that's really fucking good." Thank you. You're right. This is my transition from this story, that last story, to the next one. So I have this coworker. She has this really odd conversations that I just walk into, that she has with other people. And this one in particular, I just walked in on these 2 words in this conversation: ninja dicks. Now, I'm pretty sure that upon hearing those words, we all collectively had the same image just conveyed in our mind. So, of course, I made a face and she saw it and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did we offend you?" if we're really offensive, you can just tell us. And I'm like, that's not it. First of all, I'm in college, so stupid shit like that, I can tolerate. And she goes, you sound like you come from a sheltered family. Fucking what? Like, never mind how you discern that. A sheltered family? What family were you raised in which it's okay to say something like that in front of your parents? How was your day yesterday? Dude, Mom, my dick was just, you wouldn't believe it. Like, it was just like a ninja. I got laid last night and neither one of us knew it. Like... So I was hanging out with a friend, and she, this was a while ago, she one day read a little excerpt from an issue of Unbearably Materialistic and Crazy Bitch magazine. It's Cosmopolitan, is what it's usually called. But yeah, she read me a list of what they call the best pickup lines. I didn't really, none of them really stayed in my head except for one, because this one was so exceptionally terrible that it just stays there. It goes, you know, if you were a wedgie, I'd kick you out. Like, at first I dismissed it as just being so stupid, but you know, I got to thinking, if I had an entire person just wedged up between my ass, I'd probably be like, you know what, yeah, I'd pull you the hell out of there. Be like, what are you doing? Just wanted you to notice me. I wanted to get you to know you better. Congrats, you know me deeper than most. So anyways, you guys liking the show at all? No? Calm down. Yeah, I got stuck promoting this thing like crazy, going bar to bar, and I handed a little flyer version of the poster with my name on it to people, and this one guy I handed it to, he said, all right, if I come, I'm going to heckle the hell out of you. What are you going to say back? And I'd be like, give me back my fucking poster, you son of a bitch. And he said, no, you got to tell me. I didn't answer, I just walked away, but here's my answer right now. If you do heckle me, I will say nothing. I will just come down here, take this pen, and gouge a hole in your fucking throat. Okay? I have no problems going to prison. I am not going to be anybody's bitch in prison because I'm just too tight. Thank you. Oh, let's go back to the Cosmopolitan stuff. Let's go back to it, yeah. I just realized, like, I went out of order. All right, but, yes. The Cosmopolitan, I remember reading a little bit in this Cosmopolitan magazine, and, like, the title basically was them just trying to describe to women how to make a man come to climax. And I'm like, I didn't read it because women, do you honestly think that this requires instruction? No. Okay, good. This magazine does, because I gotta be honest, it's so easy that I can do it myself. I don't need you. I prefer not to do that myself. I don't like to do most things by myself. I'm a Gemini. But, next joke. All right. So, I ran into a friend. She said, I got 1 minute. She said, I told her a story about like this crazy party that I went to, and she didn't believe that it was at all what I described it as. Because she said, like, I don't think you could get into situations like that. You just seem way too sophisticated. Oh, really? Oh, what's that about? I've done fucked up my monologue. Hold on. That was being sophisticated as if it were an outdated joke. I take severe umbrage. I cannot take this negativity from you. You look as if you spend your days quoting the published works of J.K. Rowling and Stephanie Meyer until you and all your friends' menstrual cycles sync up. If I appear too eloquent for you at the moment, then allow me to reduce my vernacular to something of your understanding. Bitch, please. You be all up in my shite. Girl, like whatever, suck upon my phallus. Deuces. My name is Kenton Therien. Thank you for having me.